Hi, on the Woodpecker today, I'm making a doweling jig. This is my own representation of a self-centering doweling jig. It helps to drill straight holes in a board. But I don't really like the fact that it always centers the holes on the piece. It's perfect if I want to join two pieces of different thickness in their middle. But it's quite difficult to do if I don't want them centered. But I really like the way a domino works because it uses the same surface on both pieces as reference. So with that in mind, I drew up some sort of doweling jig that uses only one surface as a reference. I'll start by making the zigzag part of the jig. I begin by making sure I have a nice square piece of wood. Then, with a router bit like this one, I route the zigzag shape on two faces. Next, I rip both sides of the piece. Now I have to be sure that all those zigzags align perfectly. To do that, I need to cut a test piece. Now I can clearly see that one side is okay, but not the other one. So I rip both pieces to the right width. Now I can cut several pieces from those zigzag pieces. Next, I glue 4 of them together to make a long piece. I don't want any trouble later on with excess glue, so I wipe it right away. Now I need to make this part of the jig. To do so, I use a scrap piece of sapele from my doors and cut it to size. Now I need to cut out this part of the jig. So I install my dado stack in the table saw and cut it. Before doing anything else, I need to drill the hole for the threaded insert. Then I can glue this piece to the other one to make the L shape. Now that the glue is dry, I can sand the top of the zigzag glue up. And cut all the pieces to their right dimensions. Now I need to make the removable part of the jig, so I cut several pieces from that strip. Then I have to drill the holes which will hold the removable part of the jig to the body. I begin by marking where I want the holes. Next, I make them with my domino machine. And glue dominoes in the removal part. But after that, I realized I could have used a square piece of wood. Drill a hole the same size as the dowel, which could have held both pieces together. Then on the table saw, cut one corner of it. Now with that jig, I could have drilled straight holes. But I used dominoes instead. But now I need to stick my holes pattern onto the block itself. I just need to take care to align its central mark to the block's central mark. Here's how this will work. Each hole will receive an insert. In those inserts, I can screw different sizes of bushings, from 3/8 of an inch to 1/8. But before doing that, I need to drill the holes. Now I can pound the insert in place. When all the inserts are in place, I can screw the bushings. But now I need to cut the top slot. I cut it in several passes. Before assembling it together, I need to screw the threaded insert into the hole I made earlier. The last thing to do before trying it is to remove the first triangle, and what better tool for the job than my miniature plane. Now I'm ready to try it for the first time. First of all, I need to assemble it together. I want to join those two scrap pieces together, just like that. So I start by tracing two lines on both of them. Next, I adjust the place where I want the dowel's holes. The jig is quite long, so I need to have longer marks. I set up the depth of the holes. Then, I just need to align the jig with my marks. I use a clamp, but it's not necessary. And drill the holes. Then I need to do the same thing on the other line. Then, using the same technique, I drill the other holes on the other piece. Now that all 6 holes are drilled, I can insert the dowels and put the other piece in place. And it's as simple as that. Nice joint with 6 dowels. Now that I know that it's working, I can wipe a coat of oil on the jig. Here we can see the amount of adjustment position of the jig. The bushings can be changed to accommodate several dowel sizes. Now the only thing I have to do is to align this mark to the ones I made on the other pieces and join them together. This is my new doweling jig. One day, I'll use it for real. But this will have to be in another episode of the Woodpecker.